Here we go. Here we go. Hey, hello, everybody. We'll be starting in about 30 seconds, as you can see from the timer. And this lesson will be about fruit. And you'll see a bit more of that in a sec. Just going to double check the audio. It looks like everything's working great. So we can get started in about 10 seconds. I hope you are ready for this lesson. I hope you're ready to learn a lot of English, starting in 3, 2, 1. Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson that isn't just about fruit. It's about fruit and some little phrases, some idioms that we have in English that have fruit in them. I think you'll probably know some of these, but we'll see as the lesson goes along. This lesson was requested, and I think a lot of people will appreciate it. I do have to say, though, most of the fruit I will talk about will be the fruit that's common here in Canada. There may be fruits on this list that you don't recognize. I think you'll recognize most of them, but there might be some that you think are missing. But anyways, let's do a lesson about fruit and let's learn some idioms about fruit along the way. Hey, before we get started, I do want to say hi to Brad the Canadian, who's stepping in to moderate this morning. Both Todd and Dave have other obligations. I think they might be writing midterm exams this week. It's very challenging, I think, to be a university student. But anyways, thanks, Brad, for stepping in. Please remember that if you have a question during this lesson, use the form that Brad or Nightbot will link to ask the question. Don't use the chat to ask questions. Use the chat to have fun English conversations, maybe about fruit, maybe about other things. Before we get started, let me say hi to a few people. Hi to Julia Olise. Hello. Hi to Maria C. Mickey is here. I know Lemon Cute is here, which is a good name for a lesson about fruit. Lolly Lolly, Linda, as I scroll back. Eva Maria is here. Bob Juan is here. Audie is here. Rod, the English teacher, is here. Good to see you, Rod. Mode Eggs, Maria C. Felix Chen, John is here as well. Just a few names. Norma is here. Hi, Norma. Good to see you again. And I don't want to spend too much time saying names. Let me do one more audio check, and then let's get this lesson started. I'm excited today because it's Friday. Every Friday I'm excited. It's not that I don't like work, but there's something fun about a Friday, knowing that the weekend is almost here. I do still have to go to work, though. But let's get this lesson started. So the first fruit I picked is the apple. I think you all know what an apple is. I did want to talk a little bit, though, about where we get apples. We buy our apples at the farmer's market. Apples are grown on apple trees in an apple orchard. I'm not sure if you were familiar with the word orchard. An orchard is a large field, I guess, filled with apple trees. Apples are delicious. Jen eats an apple every day. I don't. I should probably eat more apples. But that does remind me of an idiom that I didn't put in this lesson, and that's an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So there's this saying that if you eat an apple every day, you'll be healthy and you won't ever need to see a doctor. When you eat an apple, you eventually have an apple core when you're done eating. So after you've eaten all of the good parts of the apple, what's left is called an apple core. We have a phrase in English, a bad apple, or a rotten apple. I use the phrase bad apple quite often. I'm not sure who this person is. This is just a picture from a free picture website, but he looks like he's in trouble. When you have a person who is constantly getting in trouble in school, you might say they're a bad apple. Instead of studying, maybe they're doing things that are illegal during the school day or at night. And it doesn't just need to be a student. You might have a cousin who's kind of a bad apple. No matter where they go, they get in trouble. So bad apple is one idiom that we have with the word apple in it. And then there's the city of New York, which is referred to as the Big Apple. I tried to figure out why it was called this, but I didn't have enough time to do all my research. So maybe somebody who's watching can figure out why New York City, the big city in the state of New York, why it's called the Big Apple. I have been to the Big Apple once. I went there once with some friends a very, very, very long time ago. We visited Times Square and we did some other fun things in New York City in the Big Apple. We also have a fruit called a cherry. Um, I like cherry pie, but I don't actually like cherries. Cherry pie is a dessert that you make. You're probably familiar with apple pie, cherry pie. We have a number of different kinds of pie in North America. I really, really like cherry pie. I think because cherry pie has a lot of sugar in it. That's probably why I like it. Hey, when you eat cherries, you have to spit out the pits. So in the center of a cherry, there is a cherry pit. So people will often eat cherries outside and then they'll try to shoot the pit out of their mouth as far as they can. That's an interesting game to play. Sometimes Jen and I and the kids will eat cherries outside and try to spit the pits far away. We have a phrase in English called to cherry pick, and it's a phrase you use in sports when someone, instead of playing defense, they hang out by the goal or the net. It's something that happens quite a bit in hockey. It happens quite a bit in basketball, less so in football or soccer because you're often offsides if you're too far ahead. But in hockey or basketball, if you're cherry picking, it means instead of trying to get the puck from the other team, you're kind of waiting for someone to give you the puck so you can score right by the net. You can sort of see it in this picture here. The red dot would represent someone who's cherry picking. The rest of his team or her team is trying really hard to get the ball, but that person is just waiting for someone to pass it to them so they can get an easy basket. The pear. So I don't actually like pears very much. I will eat them. I actually like pears from a can or from a jar. So sometimes at the store, we'll buy a can of pears. And I like those better probably because there's a lot of sugar in that too. But pears look kind of like an apple, but with an extra piece on the top. And they certainly taste different. We used to have a pear tree on the farm many, many years ago, but we no longer have one. I think eventually it might have died. I should go look sometime. It's down the hill. And we have a phrase in English to go pear-shaped. This is when something goes wrong. When I was starting before the live stream, Mode said, I hope the lesson doesn't go pear-shaped today. So if this lesson went pear-shaped, that would mean that I forgot how to explain things, or people were having trouble connecting, or the connection was bad. That would be something going pear-shaped. I put this up because sometimes you go on a nice trip in the winter in Canada, and then the trip kind of goes pear-shaped because you run into a lot of snow and maybe you get stuck somewhere. So when you say that something goes pear-shaped in English, it means that it goes wrong. It doesn't go the way you were hoping for it to go. And now my favorite fruit. Some of you, I think, mentioned this already in the chat. Bananas are my favorite fruit. At this point in the lesson, I will thank everyone who lives in a country that grows bananas. I really like bananas. I would say I eat one every day, but it's probably more like I eat 25 to 30 bananas a month. I eat about 5 or 6 bananas a week. I try to eat one every day, but sometimes we run out of bananas. In our stores, the bananas are yellow, but sometimes the bananas are green. And then when you buy green bananas, you have to wait a couple of days for them to turn yellow before they are ripe enough to eat. When you eat a banana, you peel the banana, and then you eat what's on the inside. I do really, really like bananas. And they are one of the cheapest fruits to buy in Canada, which seems strange to me because they all come in on a boat from really far away. I'm not sure where the bananas are from that I'm eating right now, but they're usually from somewhere in Central America, usually. And then we have the phrase to go bananas. So this phrase has a couple of meanings. It means to be really excited. If I walked into my classroom and started throwing candy, my students would go bananas. That means that they would be really excited. They would jump out of their desks and try to grab the candy that's on the floor. They would be really excited. It can also mean, though, to get angry. Like you could say, oh, he was in a car accident and then he just went bananas. Like he was yelling, he was screaming. It's probably more often used as something to describe people who are excited in a positive way, but it can be used the other way as well. And then top banana, second banana. I think I taught this phrase on my other channel. So when you work somewhere, you could say your boss is the top banana. I would probably say top dog, but some people say top banana. And then maybe the boss, there's someone just under the boss. We would call that person the second banana. So some people like being second banana. Some people like being the top banana. I like just being a worker. I don't want to have too much responsibility. And then we have grapes. We actually grow grapes close to our farm. There's an area where grapes can grow. The climate on our farm isn't warm enough, but when you're close to the Great Lakes, there's a microclimate where people can grow grapes. But grapes are yummy to eat. Grapes are, of course, used to make grape juice and grape and wine. There are a lot of wineries actually close to where I live as well, because they can grow grapes. When you have an area where you can grow grapes, you naturally have wineries, places where wine is made. And grapes grow in a vineyard, by the way. I forgot to mention that with some of the other fruits, but that's okay. Grapes grow in a vineyard and they grow on a vine. So the phrase sour grapes refers to anyone who, they're just annoyed and upset about something. And usually it reminds me of sports fans when their team loses. They can really be sour grapes. They can really be annoyed and they blame it on the referee and they find all kinds of reasons or excuses why their team should have won. So they're sour grapes. It means to be upset about something, but maybe not have a good reason to be upset. So definitely this reminds me of sporting events. Let's do a few questions here before we move on. Yes, this is a good time to do some questions. Let me check to see where we're at. We definitely have questions. This is from Tripto Pal, setting the record for first comment almost every week. Very good. Tripto says, "Hello, Bob. Which fruit should people eat every day?" A banana. That's my recommendation. So surprisingly though, okay, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not an expert on what people should eat, but they actually say you shouldn't eat too much fruit in a day. You should eat a lot of vegetables in a day and have 1 or 2, maybe 3 pieces of fruit. So I would say if you eat a banana and an apple, if those are the fruits you eat every day, and then you eat 6 or 7 vegetables during the day, that would be good for you. But if I was to choose, Tripto, I think an apple is very, very healthy, but I like bananas. Let's see here. Next one from Blue Shirt. Bob, you are the apple of students' eyes because you are very special to us. Thanks for this lesson. So when you're the apple of someone's eye, it means it's someone you admire or that you like. So thanks, Blue Shirt, for that comment. Very nice of you. I like your name too, Blue Shirt. But this is my least blue shirt, I think, that I'm wearing today. Ruslan says, "Hello, dear teacher Bob. How are you, sir? Do the watermelons grow in Canada?" Yes. We had an unusually hot summer in Russia that allowed them to ripen. Yes, we definitely can grow watermelons here. We can grow a lot of those types of plants. We can grow all different kinds of melons, actually. I'm trying to think. Cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, all of those are definitely grown around here. Okay, I do want to say hi to the 395 people watching. If you're new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button over there. But let's continue with the questions. Yaroslav, morning, the wisest teacher Bob. No question today. Thanks for your awesome and helpful lesson. Have a great fruit lesson ahead. Thanks, Yaroslav. I will try and have a great lesson. I am enjoying it for sure. So Mode says, I heard on the grapevine that you'd be the best person to answer my question, and I believe so. When do you pluralize fruit? Is it countable or uncountable noun? So here's when I pluralize fruit. And it's kind of weird. I could say there are a lot of different kinds of fruit at the grocery store. The grocery store has a lot of different fruits and vegetables. I almost only pluralize fruit when I use the phrase fruits and vegetables, okay? At the farmer's market, there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that you can buy. I would rarely say there's a lot of fruits you can buy at the farmer's market. Instead, I would choose to say fruit. So it's kind of a weird thing, isn't it? Right? Like, hey, when you went to the store the other day, was there a lot of fruit there? That's definitely plural. Okay. That's not a singular, but I could respond and say, oh yeah, the fruits and vegetables section was full. You could also say the fruit and vegetable section. So it's tricky mode. And I think it might be somewhat regional. I think you might have to just pay attention to the area you're in because it might be different in different areas. Okay, where we are here. Sorry, ignore the sentence I just said. Where are we here? Next question from Sean. Hello, Bob. Can you tell me, is an apple, I'm going to add "and" there, is an apple good for health? And do you usually eat it? I eat about 2 apples a week. It's not my favorite fruit, but it's supposed to be really, really good for you. Sukaina says, speak with a plum in one's mouth. Have a great day, Mr. Bob, the best teacher ever. So this is not a common phrase in North America. At least it's not common in my area of Canada. I think it's common in the United Kingdom. I think in the UK, people would say this. And I think it means to speak with a certain kind of accent, but I am not super familiar with it. Let's look it up for a sec, though. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but we don't use it here. To speak with a plum in one's mouth. Let's see. So a way of speaking that is typical of people with high social class. Oh, interesting. So anyways, not a common phrase in Canada. Let's see. I'm only gonna do questions that are related to the lesson. So sorry, I'm gonna skip a couple here. Natalia, what fruits do you usually put on the table for the holidays and consider them special only for special occasions? So notice Natalia said, what fruits do you usually put? I would use the word fruits or fruit there. So I'm not 100% sure what the rule is, but you could say, what fruit do you usually put on the table? Or what fruits do you usually put on the table? Both are correct. No problem. For holidays, yeah, that's an interesting one. I think it's probably more likely, I don't think we have a lot of fruits. Like at Thanksgiving, which is coming up, we'll have a lot of pumpkin pie. So we'll take pumpkins and make pie out of them. At Christmas, you might have different kinds of pie. I don't think there's anything special. So sorry, Natalia, I can't think of one. Hey, Camilla, welcome to the channel as a member. Thank you so much for joining. That's awesome. Let's see here. Your kindly friend says, hey, Bob, what's up? What kind of fruit do you love the most? Mine is orange. Have a good one. I like your look today. Well, thank you. I like bananas. I really like bananas. I don't know why. I started eating them as a kid and I just really like them. They're also very convenient, right? They're easy to take in your lunch because you just peel it to eat it. Tina says, good morning. What are melons and watermelons? It seems to me that they are not fruits, but I thought you might mention them in your video. Thank you in advance. So I think they are fruits, and I will mention watermelons, and I have a picture coming up later of them, Tina, in the lesson. Kurdish says, hi, Bob. How are you doing? Do you like perfumes, air fresheners, and other stuff with fruit smell? Thank you. Sometimes. So the shampoo that I use, I was using shampoo that smelled like mangoes, and it was really nice. It was a nice smell. And now I'm using a shampoo that I don't like the smell right now. So it depends. I don't actually like perfumes and air fresheners. If the smell is too strong, then that can bother me a little bit. That's a good question, Curtis. A lot of things in the world smell like fruit or have fruit flavors. Let's see here. Fox, savoring fruits. When referring to fruit, do you use in the meaning to eat the following verbs? Gnaw, crunch, consume, savor, fress, when this is possible. So I don't even know the word fress. Interesting. Maybe fresh. Anyways, gnaw is something that we use usually to talk about animals. Like sometimes Oscar will gnaw on a stick, like he'll chew on it all day. I would say crunch you would use to talk about an apple. You would probably use crunchy though, like, oh, this apple is really crisp and really crunchy. Consume is just a really formal verb. We don't use it very much. We just use the verb to eat. And then savor. I think when I eat apple pie, I savor it. Like you enjoy the flavor quite a bit. I don't know. You might savor like the taste of a cherry or a grape as well. Let's see here. Nazir says, hi, Teacher Bob. How's it going? How to describe a fruit when it's grown enough and its color turns yellow or red? We would say it is ripe. We are always waiting for fruit to be ripe before we eat it. When you buy something like a banana that's green, you wait for it to turn yellow. You wait for it to ripen. And when it's ripe, you can eat it. Let's see here from Lemon Cute. Hi, Bob. Have a great day. Do your students recognize you're a YouTuber and you're the apple of my eye? Well, thank you. My students at school know that I have a YouTube channel, and they often congratulate me when I cross certain milestones. But yeah, they're definitely aware of it. And what was I going to say? Oh, no, that's okay. I got to keep going. Winter Wright says, is there any name of games with fruit, but during playing the game, no fruit is required? I can't think of one, Winter. Maybe someone in the chat has an idea for that one. But hey, let's jump back to the lesson so that we can keep moving along. An orange. So this is what's known as citrus fruit. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons, tangerines, all of those are considered citrus fruit. Our oranges in Canada, when you buy an orange, it is almost always from Florida. Almost all of the oranges in Canada come from Florida. It's very nice to live close to the United States. It's nice to live close to a country that produces all different kinds of citrus fruit. So I'm sure there are big trucks that regularly drive from Florida to Canada and bring oranges here. I probably drink more orange juice. Yeah, I prefer orange juice over eating an orange. I actually like orange juice quite a bit. An orange is, again, something you need to peel to eat. You don't eat the orange peel, but you do eat the inside. And sometimes the orange is seedless, and sometimes it has seeds in it. So depends on what kind of orange you buy. I like the seedless kind. And we have a phrase in English, comparing apples to oranges. When you compare apples to oranges, it means you're talking about two things that really can't be compared. If you were to talk about the economy in Canada, or yeah, how would I describe this? Let me think of a good way to describe this. I think it's like if you talk about how farming is done in Canada versus farming in, let's say, Japan. It's like comparing apples to oranges. It's done differently, okay? There might be some similarities, but sometimes that might have been a bad example, but sometimes you can't compare things, and it's like comparing apples to oranges. The peach. There are a lot of peaches growing around here. Peaches are very, very yummy. Peaches are quite juicy. When you eat a peach, you often get peach juice on your face when you're eating it, especially if it's really, really ripe. But this is one of my favorite summer fruits. It's really nice in the summer because we get fresh peaches from our neighbor at the farmer's market. And a peach has fuzz on it. So just like when you have a little bit of hair on your face, you have a little bit of fuzz. A peach has really small hairs on it, and we call it peach fuzz. We actually, here's a phrase I don't have in here, but when a young man around age 12 or 13 or 15 or 16, when they start to grow hair on their face, it's very, very fine hair, and we call it peach fuzz. Sorry, not fudge, peach fuzz. We say, oh, he has a little bit of peach fuzz on his face. He's starting to become a man. We describe things that are cool as peachy, okay? Like if someone says to Jen, I need 10 bouquets today. Can I pick them up at 10? Jen could say, oh, yep, that's peachy. That means it's great. That's okay. If someone says, I want to give you $1,000, you could say, that's peachy. That's just peachy. It means really cool. It means really exciting. It means something that you like. Kiwi. So kiwi is an interesting fruit. Apparently you can eat the skin, but I don't like the skin. When we buy kiwis, I often peel them. I actually peel the kiwi. Did I say peaches? Kiwi. When we get kiwi, I peel the kiwi. I find kiwis taste a little bit like strawberries. I really, really like kiwis. Now, kiwi is also a word we use to talk about people from New Zealand. People from New Zealand often refer to themselves as kiwis. This is a guy named, his YouTube channel is called How to Dad, and he makes really, really funny videos about being a parent. He's a Kiwi. He's someone who's from the country of New Zealand. And then here we have the lemon. So the lemon is an interesting citrus fruit. Not only is it used, well, not a lot of people eat lemons. Maybe I should start by saying that. Not a lot of people eat lemons, but people use lemons in a lot of recipes. People make a lot of things out of lemons. They make lemonade. They make iced tea with lemon flavoring. If you go to a bar, a lot of alcoholic drinks will have lemon, slice of lemon in it. In restaurants in Canada, when you ask for water, it might have a slice of lemon in it. There are a lot of things that you can make with lemon, but not a lot of people eat lemons. They usually use the lemon to make something else. And here you have a man looking at his car. In English, when you say something is a lemon, usually you're talking about a used car that doesn't work right. Okay, so if I bought a used car and it just kept breaking all the time, I would say I bought a lemon. I think you could say this about a new car too, but it's when you buy something and it regularly breaks all the time. Like, oh, Joe bought a new car. Oh, does he like it? No, it's a lemon. He's taken it to the garage 3 times so far. And then we have this phrase in English: when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. This is a phrase because lemons are sour. And so if life is giving you lemons, it's like life is giving you experiences that aren't enjoyable. And your job then is to make lemonade. So hopefully you understand this. It basically means if life's kind of crappy right now, if life isn't going well, you have to find a way to make it exciting and joyful and happy. So when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. It sounds really simple though, doesn't it? It's not always that easy to make your life better. And then we have melons. So this is a cantaloupe. There are several different kinds of melons. Melons are very, very, very tasty. You usually cut a melon up in order to eat it. You usually cut it into slices. You usually remove all the seeds from the center if it's a melon like this one. But we also use the word melon to talk about someone's head. So this is a slang word for someone's head. You know, oh, he got hit in the melon. Someone threw a ball at him in the gymnasium and he got hit in the melon. So melon is another word for your head. And then we have the grapefruit. I think, yes, okay, I'm just checking here. A grapefruit is an interesting fruit. It's a citrus fruit. It's bigger than an orange. It's definitely a lot more sour. People often eat them for breakfast in North America. They cut them in half and they might actually put sugar on top of it. My mom, when I was younger, would eat a grapefruit every morning. She would cut it in half and she would sprinkle sugar on the grapefruit. And then she would eat it with a special spoon that was kind of like a knife on one side, so she could cut the sections out. I don't know. I should eat more grapefruit so I know what I'm talking about. But we do have something called the Grapefruit League in North America. So the baseball team in Toronto is called the Toronto Blue Jays. But before they play for the regular season in Toronto, they actually play in what's called the Grapefruit League in Florida. This is called preseason training or training camp or spring training. So the Blue Jays, the whole team lives in Florida for a few weeks, and they play in a league called the Grapefruit League with all the other National League teams or American League teams. Sorry, I should get my baseball facts straight. So the Grapefruit League is just how we talk about spring training for professional baseball in North America. I think there's also a Cactus League out in Arizona or one of the western states. But because it's winter in the early spring, it's still too cold to play baseball. Many teams will go to the south to practice and get ready for the regular season. And the one that takes place in Florida is called the Grapefruit League. Hey, let's switch to members only chat for a moment here. Let me get things set up. Let me listen to my audio while I'm doing that. There we go. I think everything is working great. So what's happening right now? Well, the lesson is still happening. Sorry, my camera just did a weird thing. But I am going to answer questions directly from the chat for a bit. If you're one of the 512 people watching, stick around. The lesson will continue in about 10 minutes. And if you're new here, click the subscribe button. I think you'll appreciate it. Let's see here. Norma says to Natalia, hi there. I don't like fruit at all. Yeah, some people don't like fruit, but it's good to eat it. It really is. Let me see here. Let me get a question from over here. So I'll have a question here and I'll jump over to the chat in a bit. Henry from Taiwan. Hi, Teacher Bob. Have you ever tried jujube? It's green on the outside, succulent and crunchy meat on the inside. Thank you. I have not tried it. And a jujube in North America is actually a candy. You can buy jujubes in the store in a bag, and they're little sweet candies. So interesting. I should do some research on that, Henry. I will do that later. Betty Lou says, hi, the cutest Teacher Bob. Have you tried passion fruit in Canada? It tastes special for some of the people, but I like it. I haven't tried it. I think I have had passion fruit juice, or I've had juice that has some passion fruit in it. Hamid says, hi, lovely Bob. Just thank you. No problem. Let's see here. Ricardo says, Teacher Bob, here in Brazil, we used to do a delicious mix of fruits called salada de frutas. The direct translation is fruit salad. Do you like to eat this? We have fruit salad and it comes in a jar or can, and I do like it. It is pretty yummy. I do like fruit salad. Julia Olise from the chat says, hi, dear teacher. I wonder, does Jen make some kind of jam or other canned fruit for wintertime? We don't, but we trade flowers at the market for jam. So we'll give the people beside us make jam. So we'll give them flowers and they give us jam. It's really, really good. Let's see here. Maria C. from the chat says, hey, Bob, are strawberries expensive in Canada? I think they're the most expensive fruits in Argentina. I love bananas too. Strawberries are expensive off season. In the month of June, they're very reasonable because we grow strawberries in Canada, but you can usually only buy them in June. There are some strawberries for the rest of the summer. They have an ever-bearing variety, but usually June is the best time, and then they're reasonably priced. Modags, hello, Mr. Bob. Do you ever call the produce section fruit and vegetable section? Yeah, we call it the fruit and vegetable section, or the fruits and vegetable section. Definitely. But interestingly enough, I never remember. Sorry, that's not correct. So the produce section or the produce section, because Canadian English is a mix of American and British English, we use both pronunciations. Like, oh, you can buy bananas in the produce section. You can buy bananas in the produce section. And I'm not even sure which one is correct. Let's see here. Marcos says, hello, everybody. Hi, Marcos. Betty Lou, hi, the cutest Teacher Bob. Do you think Asian plum is a kind of fruit? What's your opinion? I would need to go to a specialty store and see if I could find one, but it's probably a fruit. I don't really know, though. Naomi T, hi, Teacher Bob. What is the best fruit in Canada? So Canada grows a lot of peaches and we grow a lot of apples. Those are probably the two best Canadian fruits, I would say. Madi says, I think I'm lazy to eat fruits, but I usually drink juice instead of that to keep my body healthy a little bit. Yeah, I think I would agree, especially with oranges. It's a lot easier to drink orange juice. It just comes in a carton, so that makes it a little easier. Key Park, do you like durian? I hate it. It smells stinky. I have not tried it, but I heard that it smells bad from a friend who lived in a country where you could buy those. Freddie Wolf, hi Bob. In French, we have, for example, the sentences, do not confuse cabbage and carrots, or have the melon. Is it the same in Canada? We don't have those phrases And I can't, Freddie, I can't think of an equivalent phrase off the top of my head. Sorry. Linda, I'm thinking about any fruit I don't like. I actually love them all. I'm a foodie, so I'm not nitpicky on food. Yes, good point, Linda. There are some fruits I don't like. I don't like fruits with a lot of seeds or pits in them. Let's see here. Modags, have you ever tried dragon fruit? I haven't. It's an elegant looking fruit. I have not tried it. Julia says, great exchange. Yawen says, may I ask, can we buy fresh fruits in the snow days in Canada? Thank you. Yes. So because California and Florida produce fruits and vegetables year round, and because we live close to the United States, it's our closest neighbor, Canada has a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables in our grocery stores year round. We also get a lot of fruits from overseas, so bananas and those kinds of things. So yes, bananas, pineapples, all those things, you can buy that year round. The price goes up and down though. In the winter, they're a little pricier. Let's see here. Mickey says, hey, Bob, sometimes the words be worth and pay off could be used in a similar way. Could you give us 2 sentences using them within the topic? I think, yes. I think if you don't eat fruit, it would be worth it if you started eating fruit now. That's how I would say be worth it. And I think it would pay off in the end. So slightly different use, slightly different meanings. They're not interchangeable, but hopefully those examples help you a bit. Marty says, hi, Bob. What are the famous fruits in Canada? I'm pretty sure peaches and apples are probably our 2 biggest fruits. Apples, we grow a lot of apples in Canada. And then peaches, we have a few areas where we can grow peaches. You need a certain climate for peaches. Let's see here. Lolly, do you use this idiom, not give a fig? We don't, but I wonder if fig is a replacement for a different swear word. It could be. Sita says, I came just to say hello to Mr. Bob and thank you once again for your great work. No problem, Sita. I'm at the office now, but I always watch your live lessons on replay. Thanks for doing that, Sita. That's cool. Maria says to Linda, I love almost all vegetables, but I like few fruits. I wish I would like more. That's probably healthier, Maria. It's probably healthier to really like vegetables. Audie says, hi, Bob. In Thailand, we have the wording, it's as easy as peeling a banana into your mouth, but our king of fruit is durian. It's very hard to peel out. Yeah, we don't have that phrase. It's like, I think we say it's like baking a cake, even though baking a cake is really hard. Let's look that one up for a sec. Like baking a cake. Phrase baked like a cake is not a set one. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, let me just move on with the questions. Let me not try to answer things on the fly this morning. Let me see here. Betty Lou, hi, the cutest teacher, Bob. Someone told me that avocado is a kind of fruit, which confuses me sometimes. What do you think? So I think avocado is a fruit. It's on my list. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. Let's see here. I've lost my spot here. Mode eggs. Mr. Bob, are you going to talk about tomber dans les pommes today? No, I'm not actually. Sorry. French phrases are off the list. Eugene, I like yogurt with fruit, such as peach and fieldberry. Yogurt and fruit go really good together. Sorry, I'm going a little quick on the questions here. There's a lot today. So sorry if I go over yours too quick. Linda, maybe you should try and add a lot of sugar to them. That always makes things taste better. Fieldberry, says Eugene. Yeah, fieldberries are good. Wanda, hi, Teacher Bob. How are you? What is the common fruit at Christmas time? Thanks. I don't know. We eat, like, I think people used to eat plums and other fruits, but I think a long time ago, the most common fruit was the pear because it actually stores long enough to be available. But there's no specific fruit that I can think of. Mode says, I wish I could stay until the end, but I'm sorry I have to go. See you, Mode. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Bye, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your fruity lesson. Thanks, Mode. Have a good day. Marcos, one of the most famous fruits in the north of Brazil is the chupachu. Do you know this, Mr. Bob? No, and I don't even know if I pronounced it right. I will have to look it up later. Mode says, bye and thank you, Mr. Bob. Don't forget that to take your banana before you head out to work. Enjoy your long weekend. À demain ou à la prochaine semaine, monsieur. Yes, see you, Mode. Marco says in Asia, it's from the north too. Delicious. I have to find a store that has some of these fruits. Some of these fruits you can't ship far away. They go bad. And so you can only get them in the country you live in. Betty Lou says, hi, cutest teacher Bob. In my country, some chefs like to add pineapple to salty dishes, which makes it weird. Have you experienced it in Canada? We actually can get pineapple on our pizza here. It's called Hawaiian. You get pizza with ham and pineapple. Some people really, really like it. Ivan says, hi, Bob. I'm a really fruits fan. I believe eating fruits is a great habit for healthy life. Definitely. Lolly's saying bye to Mode. Mickey says, I have a friend that lived in Winnipeg for 40 years. He told me that in Canada, blueberry is one of the most common and loved fruits. Is that true? In Manitoba, in Winnipeg, I think it is. We eat blueberries here. And I think blueberries, wild blueberries, are grown in that province. I have to double check, but that might be why. Marco says, it's a very Latin indigenous letter. Sounds like S. Oh, so it's capucha. So it's the same as français. It's pronounced the same way in French, I think. Ready. Translation of the phrase. Do not confuse cabbage and carrots. Croire que deux choses totalement différentes sont identiques, or have the melon, se sentir supérieur aux autres. Merci pour ça. Thanks for that, Freddie. Where are we at? I'm going to turn off members only chat. Give me 1 second to do that. I have to remember where the button is. There we go. As I do that, I want to thank all of my members. We'll get back to the lesson in a sec. Thanks to all of my members, all the people who have clicked the join button. Thanks for doing that. You get an extra video on Wednesday, a little crown and your name in green during live chats. And you get to ask questions directly during the live lessons. So that's really cool. Hey, I'm going to go over a few different fruits. And this lesson has no more idioms. Sorry about that. But we're going to talk about things like the strawberry. As I said, in Canada, in my part of Canada, strawberries are in season during the month of June. There are other strawberries available, but the normal regular strawberries are available usually in the month of June. And we usually buy a lot of them. We have a lot of strawberry sandwiches. Jen likes eating strawberries on bread, and we have a lot of strawberries and ice cream during that time. So we cut the strawberries up and put them on vanilla ice cream. Very, very yummy. We also have raspberries in this area. We don't buy a lot of raspberries. They're quite expensive. A lot of people buy raspberries to make jam. Raspberry makes really, really good jam that you can preserve and eat during the rest of the year. And as was just mentioned, blueberries are very, very popular. We buy frozen blueberries year round. We use blueberries. Jen eats blueberries with her yogurt. Sometimes if we blend a lot of fruit together to make a fruit smoothie, we'll put blueberries in as well. They are very, very yummy. Sometimes I put blueberries on my pancakes as well. We have plums. We usually have plums mid-summer. So around the middle of the summer, Jen will come home from market with plums. It's not the most popular fruit in our house, our kids and myself included. I like plums if they're really ripe, but they're not my favorite fruit. But a plum is a small purple fruit. This one's a little bit more blue, but they're blue or purple, and definitely grown in this area as well. And then we have apricots. An apricot looks like a small peach, but it doesn't taste like a peach. It has its own unique flavor. It's very sweet. I really, really love apricots, but we don't have them very often. Only for about a couple weeks in the middle of the summer can we buy apricots. And then we have the nectarine. So the nectarine is a peach without hair. It doesn't have peach fuzz on it. And it has a slightly different taste. It looks like a peach. It tastes kind of like a peach, but I would say it tastes more like a nectarine. It has its own flavor. And it would be, I think I like, if I could choose between a peach and a nectarine, if they were both really, really ripe, I think I prefer the nectarine, a slightly different taste. And then we have the avocado. So avocados are not grown in Canada. They are imported. Avocados are really, really yummy. We buy avocados frozen and we put them in smoothies. But we also sometimes buy something called guacamole, or we make guacamole. Those of you who are from countries where you have avocados are probably familiar with that. Some avocado, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of salt, mushed all up. Very, very, very tasty to eat with chips or corn chips or on tortillas. I really, really like avocados that way. Now, we have started to bake using dates. Dates are very, very high in sugar. They are imported. So when we want dates, we do have to buy them. They do come from other countries. But we have started to make cookies with dates in them and brownies with dates in them. Instead of using sugar in the recipe, we will use dates, and it's very, very tasty. And then there's the fig. I have not eaten very many figs in my life. We do not grow figs in Canada. It is definitely a very popular fruit around the world, though. In many countries, figs are very, very popular, readily available if you want to buy something to eat. But unfortunately not in Canada. I will try to buy some this week, though. We also have raisins, which are dried grapes. Raisins are very popular in Canada, but all of our raisins come from the United States. Almost all of our raisins come from California. And maybe you've heard about the California raisins. There's a TV commercial that advertises raisins, and they have little like cartoon raisins that sing. We use raisins to make things like raisin bread. We make things like butter tarts with raisins in them. I like to just eat raisins by themselves. They're very, very, very tasty, very sweet though, raisins. And then not only do you have lemons, but you also have limes. So a lime is very similar to a lemon, but it's very green. It's another type of citrus fruit. A lot of things are flavored with lemon and flavored with lime, or limes are used in drinks at a bar or something like that. But it's not common for people to buy limes to eat. They're very, very sour. But some things are even like lemon lime flavor. I think the popular soda Sprite is lemon lime flavored. I think that's what it is. And then watermelon. So in Canada, we do grow watermelons. And when watermelons are in season throughout the summer, we often will buy one. Jen will cut it up into pieces and then the kids will eat it. I do like it, but I don't eat a lot of it. We try to buy seedless watermelons, but sometimes we buy watermelons that have seeds in them. And sometimes I think people call them pips as well. Not pits, pips. But they're small black seeds in the watermelon. And then cantaloupe is also, did we look at this? Oh, we looked at melon earlier, didn't we? Yeah, so a cantaloupe is a very, very yummy kind of watermelon. We also call it muskmelon. There's a green version that's called a honeydew melon, but melons like cantaloupe, when they're ripe, are very, very yummy and tasty. I really do like eating them. As well, especially when they're grown in Canada and if we get them from market and they're really ripe. Tangerines are these smaller citrus fruits, smaller than an orange. Sometimes they're called tangerines, and there's a couple different varieties of them, and they're just a slightly different version of an orange for me. I do like them. We do buy citrus fruit in the winter and try to eat as much as we can. We have small oranges called mandarin oranges as well. Those are very yummy too. And then the pineapple. So the pineapple is a very popular fruit for a variety of reasons. It's used in a number of different recipes. It's used to make things seem tropical. People will eat pineapple. People will put pineapple on pizza. I think you're familiar with the pineapple. It's usually, though, when we buy pineapple, we buy it in a jar. We don't buy it and cut it up ourselves. So probably that's the lazy way to buy pineapple. But pineapple is certainly tasty. It's kind of a mix between, like, it's sweet, but it's a little bit sour at the same time. I really like that mix with pineapple. and really yummy in smoothies as well if you put it in a blender. And then some people, there's an argument that you should never put pineapple on pizza. But again, if you go to a pizza place in North America and say, I'll have an extra large Hawaiian pizza, that means you want a pizza with pineapple and ham on it. I actually like it. I don't have a problem with that. It's quite yummy. So, hey, that is the end of the formal part of the lesson. Notice I did not have any idioms at the end, only at the beginning. And I will now, let's switch to questions. Let me just answer questions for a bit as we wrap this up. Hutra says, hi, Teacher Bob. What happens to the grapes if we step on them? So, okay, when you step on grapes or crush grapes, then the juice comes out. But there's actually a joke about this. And it's this. What happened when the guy stepped on the grape? And then the punchline is it gave out a little whine. So in English, whine is like that's a whine. Like if someone hurts you, you might whine. But then the other thing is you make wine from grapes. So it's a little bit of a joke. Did you hear what happened when the guy stepped on the grape? It gave out a little whine. That's a pretty lame joke. Sudi says, hi, Bob. Which time of the day do you take fruits, and before or after the meal? So I eat a banana with my lunch. I eat a banana sometimes as a snack. Jen's parents, though, they're older, obviously. They quite regularly have a piece of fruit for dessert. Okay, so they eat their meal and they eat a piece of fruit as dessert. So something to eat after the meal. An English coach, do you have bananas in your country? We have plenty of bananas grown here. Welcome to Taiwan. I think that's what TW is. No, we have to import all our bananas. Hey, Yun Dong, welcome and thank you for becoming a member. That's awesome of you. Thanks for clicking that join button below and doing that. Let's see here. Island Resort. Did Canada grow grapes? And also, what is the difference between raisin and grapes? So a raisin is a dried grape. They take grapes, they put them in the sun, and they dry them out. I'm just double checking that. Like my whole life, I've believed that raisins are dried grapes. A raisin is a dried grape. Good. That is what it is. And yes, there are 3 areas in Canada where we can grow grapes. And I live close to one of them. You need a special climate, and there's a place close to the lake north of me where they can grow them. Hi, Bob. How do you know what is a fruit and what is a vegetable? I actually don't know. I don't know why one thing is called a fruit and one thing is called a vegetable. Although a fruit is almost always part of the seed of a plant, right? Like an apple has a core and an orange has pits in it or seeds in it, and a watermelon has. So I think that. And then when you think about a vegetable, you're eating the stalk or the leaf, right? A different part of it. Let's see here. Ario says, hola, I use my laptop to comment and watching using the laptop. I like bananas as well. Very nice topic to discuss. Evening here, yummy lesson. Ario, I can just imagine you're just sitting there eating a banana while watching. Let's see here. Mickey says, hey, Mr. Bob, are peaches special in Georgia? Just wonder why Justin Bieber says that he gets his peaches out in Georgia in that song, which is called Peaches. So I don't know exactly, but I do know that in the southern United States, they grow a lot of fruit. And in Georgia, I would imagine they grow a lot of peaches. Let's check. Does Georgia, because there's something called a Georgia peach, grow a lot of peaches? Does it say central region of Georgia is the largest? Oh yeah, definitely Georgia. The state of Georgia grows a lot of peaches. There might be another meaning to that though. There might be some innuendo, but I don't know exactly. Let's see here. Arian says, hello, Mr. Bob. I think your favorite fruit is the banana. That is correct. Oh, just a sec here. Sorry, I'm clicking too many. Julio says, hi, Mr. Bob. Bob, what kind of poisonous fruit do you have in Canada? I mean, fruits that aren't fit for us to eat. So there are berries. If you go out hiking, There are a lot of berries that grow on bushes that are poisonous in Canada. Definitely you have to be careful what you eat. Call me later, sir. Hi, Bob. Which one do you prefer? I think I would eat the grapes. Maybe the apple. No, grapes, then apple. I think they're in the order of how I like them. So Emma says, I've watched a lot of your videos and know that you love bananas. So what do you usually eat with banana? I usually eat bananas with peanut butter. I just eat the banana by itself. That's how I eat it. I eat it at lunch or as a snack. I eat it by myself or by itself. Ivan has given me a super sticker. Thank you so much, Ivan, for the super sticker. Thank you for supporting me and giving me the thumbs up one. Let's see here. Jean. Hi, Teacher Bob. I love juice. In Brazil, we have a lot of fruits and natural juices. In Canada, it's easy and cheap to buy fruits and natural juices. Yes, there's a whole section of the grocery store where you can buy fruit juice. You can buy grape juice. You can buy cranberry juice. I should have mentioned the cranberry. You can buy apple juice. You can buy orange juice. You can buy lemonade. There are so many different kinds of fruit juices that you can buy. I should have mentioned that in the lesson. So thanks for asking that question. Simon says, is there the most famous fruit in Canada? I mean, its production. Let's look that up. What fruit does Canada produce the most of? I don't know if we'll get an answer here. Blueberries. I didn't even know that. Blueberries continue to be Canada's top fruit export. There you go. So blueberries, that's our biggest export. Sorry, there's a mosquito flying around me. Okay, let's get to the next question. Alex says, hello, Prof. Bob. I just want to say that talking about fruit, I love the word watermelon in French, la patesque. Thanks, Alex. So Arlon says, hi, Professor Bob. How are you? I have a question. Is there any fruit that comes from Brazil to Canada? Tell me about that. Thank you so much. You're the best. I'm sure there is, Arlon. I'm sure any fruit that the country of Brazil grows that can be shipped on a boat and stay good, we probably have in Canada. We import a lot of fruit from South America. Central America, South America, we import a lot of fruit from those areas. Let's see. Notive says, hi, Mr. Bob. I know that I have seen more corn, apples, and pineapples in Denmark. Could you explain more fruit and fruit idioms? So I don't have any more fruit idioms, but it is interesting that northern countries do have a lot of fruit in their grocery stores because we buy it from so many other fruit countries around the world. Fyodor says, hello, Bob. What rare adjectives are there for describing the exact nuances of a fruit's taste? Sweet would probably be very common. I don't think there's anything strange about it. You would say it's juicy, it's sweet, it's tasty, it's delicious. We even have an apple called Delicious. There's an apple variety called Delicious, for sure. Next question. Let's see. From Satayesh. Hi, Teacher Bob. Hope you're fine. Can you tell me which one of them is correct? Do you like fruit or do you like fruits? I would say, and I'm not going to say which one's correct. This is the one I would say. I would say, do you like fruit? Okay. Do you like fruits? I think is still correct. But the most common way for me to ask it is, do you like fruit? And that covers all of it. This is from Jocelyn. Hello, Mr. Bob. Do you know sweet passion fruit? I highly recommend it to you. It has orange round shell with directly edible pulp. It's very tasty, just like bananas. I will go to a bigger grocery store in the city in a week or two, and I will buy some more fruit like that. I can't buy all of this at my local grocery store. I have to go to a bigger city to get some of that. So I will try it. Let's see here. Hobart says, hi, Teacher Bob, is everything okay? Yes, although I'm feeling a little rushed this morning, and I don't know why. My question is, what's the most popular fruit in Canada? So I think we just figured out blueberries are our biggest export. But if I was to look at lunch and see what are the other teachers and students eating, I would say apples and bananas are the two most common things for people to eat. Rafaela says, have you ever heard about the fruit jaca? It's my favorite. It's from India, but I live in Brazil and there are a lot of jaca trees. No, I have not, but I am going to see if I can find some of these because I'm interested in trying other fruits. Let's see here. Freddie de France. Hello, Bob. More and more flavors are made with chemical items so that we could easily be tricked, couldn't we? What do you think about that? There are a lot of things that have artificial flavoring, and I don't really like artificial flavor. I like to buy things that are very natural. So that's what I think about that. Maria says, hello, Bob. Bob, I think your favorite fruit is the banana, right? Yes, that is my favorite fruit. And then Barbie says, hi, Bob, will you eat some fruit while you are feeling not happy? No, normally if I'm not happy, I eat ice cream. I don't eat healthy when I'm unhappy. That's a problem. I think more people, when they're unhappy, should eat fruit and go for a walk. But for me, when I'm not happy, I usually eat ice cream. Not a good idea. Let's see here. I think we're done, actually. I think that's the end. Let me see here. Last question's about rice from Trong. Hi, Bob. Have you eat rice in your meal? I hope you have more subs. Thanks for that wish, Trong. We eat rice once or twice a month. It's not the most common thing for us to eat. We eat probably more breads and pasta than we do rice, and we eat beans sometimes. But no, definitely not the most common. We call them carbs, not the most common carb, but I do like rice quite a bit. Hey, that's the end. I have to go to work. Some of you, it's already the end of your day and you're home relaxing, and I'm jealous. But thank you for watching this lesson. Please remember, someone just became a member, but I can't read your name. I should learn how to read other scripts sometime. Anyways, thanks for watching. Remember, this lesson will come out in a shorter version with subtitles in a couple days. Do watch it. Repetition is always good when learning a language. If you haven't watched my Tuesday lesson, I did walk around my local town. Let me put a link to that in the chat for a sec, if I can do that. I'm going to type video in the chat and it should pop up in a sec. You should see Nightbot should in the chat give you a link. So I did go for a walk around my local town. It was fun. If you want to see the town that I live close to, have a watch. That's not good English. Take some time to watch that video. Thanks to Brad for moderating. I am feeling a little rushed. I feel late for work all of a sudden, so I should get going. It's 2 minutes over, but I do want to say bye to everyone. Have a great day. Thank you so much to those of you who are members. And just real quick, bye to Lolly, Maria C, Key Park, Eugene, Mariano, Madi, Maria C, Brad, Yawin. I know Rod, the English teacher, is here somewhere. Tin Lee, Freddie, Norma, Lolly. I'm repeating names now. Maria C, Welson, Natalia Illusion. I know Ario is here somewhere, and Eduardo as well, and Blue Shirt. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. I'm going to rush off to work now. See ya. Oh, there is a live lesson tomorrow. Sorry, we should check the weather. I think it will be inside tomorrow. So it says Saturday, cloudy with 60% chance of showers in the morning, wind becoming south 20, gusting to 40 or 60 in the morning. We are going to be inside tomorrow. Sorry. I hope we can do a few more outside, but tomorrow's live lesson will be inside. I'll be sitting right here with a different shirt on.